Hello everyone, thanks for watching our accounting podcast. I'm Michael Rao.
I'm Tyler Ball.
I'm Josh Pitts.
And I'm Paige Stock.
In this video, we will be talking about the job order costing system.
The job order costing system is briefly defined as a system of accounting for product cost used by companies that produce individual products or batches of products that are unique.
In order to learn more about the job order costing system, we will be focusing on multiple key objectives.
We will break down each of these objectives in sections with video on the left and notes on the right so you can follow along.
Distinguish between manufacturing and non-manufacturing costs and between product and period costs. In job order costing system, there are two types of costs, manufacturing and non-manufacturing. Manufacturing costs are those associated with the production of goods and include direct material, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead. Non-manufacturing costs are those not associated with the production of goods and include selling, general, and administrative costs. These costs can also be called product costs or period costs. Product costs are the same as manufacturing costs and are considered an asset until finished goods are sold. Then when the product is sold, those costs are expensed. Period costs are the same as non-manufacturing costs, and these are expensed in the period in which they are incurred. Discuss the three inventory accounts of a manufacturing firm. Raw materials, work in process, and finished goods are the three inventory accounts. Raw materials account for the cost of materials at hand that are used to make a product. Work in process inventory account for the cost of goods that are only partially complete. Finished goods is the account for the cost of all items that are complete and ready to sell. Describe the flow of product costs in a manufacturing firm. In the beginning, product costs are assigned to work in process inventory. When these items are complete, the cost is then removed from work in process and added to finished goods. When finished goods are sold, they are then removed from finished goods and added to the cost of goods expensed.
Discuss the types of product costing systems. There are two different types of product costing systems. One is job order system, which is used in companies that produce individual or unique products. The second is process costing system, which companies use to produce large amounts of identical products in a continuous production operation. Explain the relation between the cost of jobs and the work in process inventory, finished goods inventory, and cost of goods sold accounts. Work in process inventory is the cost of all jobs that are being worked on. Finished goods inventory is the cost of all jobs that are finished but haven't been sold. Cost of goods sold is the cost of all jobs that are sold throughout the accounting period.
Describe how direct material, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead are assigned to jobs. Direct material is traced to job by means of material requisition forms. Direct labor is traced to jobs by means of time tickets. Manufacturing overhead is applied to jobs by using an overhead rate. For example, you applied $12 of overhead to every 1 hour of machine time, you would have a $12 per machine hour rate. Explain the role of predetermined overhead rate and applying overhead to jobs. Actual overhead cannot be determined until the end of the accounting period, and companies cannot wait until the end of the period before applying overhead to jobs. The way it gets applied is by estimating the amount of overhead that will be applied. This is known as the predetermined overhead rate.
Explain why the difference between actual overhead and overhead allocated to jobs using a predetermined rate is close to cost of goods sold or apportioned among work in process inventory, finished goods inventory, and cost of goods sold. If the amount of overhead applied to inventory does not equal actual overhead, the difference must be apportioned among work in process, finished goods, and cost of goods sold. This adjusts the account to reflect actual overhead costs. If the amount of under or over applied overhead is small, the balance can be close to the cost of goods sold. Discuss modern manufacturing practices and how they affect product costing. U.S. companies are facing stiff competition from companies abroad. In response, many have adopted manufacturing systems that minimize inventories of raw materials and work in process. Also, many companies have become highly automated and have instituted total quality management programs. Just-in-time production systems have reduced inventory levels, Automation has increased levels of overhead and fixed costs, and total quality management programs have reduced product defects and waste.
Take number 56. You know what? Forget it. We're never going to get this conclusion. I'm done.
I'm over it.
Guys, wait, we're not done yet. Thanks for watching our accounting podcast. Hope you learned a lot. How do you turn this crap on?